She tested to crucifix the boundary for the at first period in 2016, she told. She tested once again the next year, trying to float through the inland of Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. She almost recessed, she says, and consumable, 2 days in a comatose state. Following a short clinic remain, she was arrested and expelled behind to her home nation of Honduras. I'm manufacturing the travel out of need, you could tell, she told in an interviewing in Mexico town, the newest break spot on her travel. Love several convoy members, she hopes to use for refuge or several shape of asylum seeker statute while she reaches the boundary. But though if they do it through the boundary, us lawyers say their destiny remnant vague. Contreras is not certainly which put front. But she knows it can't be lot worst rather than which she's outgoing over. Discrimination since of my sexiness, absence of job, discrimination during my own household for creature gay and worst, for creature a transport man, she told. He's really, really hard. Compliance, her real sameness a open secret Contreras has ever named she was specified the incorrect sort at childbirth. Increasing up, she tested on females' clothing in open secret, but never said her mom or 5 siblings on her real sameness before recent year. Her household supports her, she says, to a extent. My household is the loving of my lifetime, she told. Yet they would tell, we loving you for who you are, but out of the dress, as a female. She would keep her household's household dressed as a person. But she would changing and put on composition at friends' homes to go of, she told. She avoiding posing in photos in friends or wiring images of herself on the internet. Following she came of, she told she tested tiring composition and females' clothing to her job at a clothes plant. She utilized extensions in her wool and grew her nails length. But her supervisors troubled and offended her, she told. She told they driven fingernail secateur to her job plant and said her to finish her nails so she wouldn't rip the cloth. They said her the composition would mordant the garments, she told, and how her wool would get trapped in the machines. But they just told it to her, she memorable, not the some female in length wool. They see for excuses how do no feeling, she told. Conclusion, a society in an hardly location Contreras told she struggled in the concept of outgoing her household. But she knew she had to do it for her own sake. She leftward Honduras on January 29 and arriving on January 31 in Tapachula, Mexico, a key accession spot to Mexico of Central America. Initially, she told designed to search refuge in Mexico. Later, on March 25, she united the yearly convoy organized by Pueblo Sin Fronteras, that giving security in numbers for migrants escaping their home countries in searching of more secure, more than steady lives. She quickly carried out she was not the just transgender or sort improper man on for the travel. Several told they united the convoy since it was more secure rather than mobile one. Organizers include welcomed them in the stack, though if they include been on the fringes at times. By the period the convoy achieved Matias Romero in the Mexico country of Oaxaca, the transgender and sort improper human beings had organized their own coach, united by friends and allies. In a mark bearing the rose, whites and dark blue colors of the transgender banner declaration Transmigrating for Liberty glued to its party, bus number 14 stands out of the 17-car convoy. Following the team arriving in Puebla, an organizer named all external to be calculated. Bleated instructions via a crackle megaphone, he said them to link up by a dark blue and amber stripy tarpaulin, in one link for men and else for female and family. Vague wherever they belonged, Contreras and other of the bus stood to the party and done their own link. Later, as organizers tallied the quantity of men, female, babies and family, a female hesitatingly requested wherever to put Contreras' team. Following a instant pausing, the organizers solved to build a individual class for them. The following date, a regional voluntary driven a orator and begun a homemade dancing side. The team was finish a dinner of tortillas, rice and chick, for lot, there at first food in 2 weeks of thing some rather than harvest, loaf and vegetable culture. A few shyly united as the voluntary coaxed human beings in dancing. Later, a Honduras punta dancing chant came on and human beings coupled up as Contreras and her friends encircled them. Abruptly, a man grasped one of the transport female and a shout shooting up of the mob. She smiled, swiveled her hips and united for the otherwise of the dancing. And vague next as groups include break off through the travel, left members of the convoy arriving in Mexico town on Monday. Plans are yet in flow as organizers try to drawing out which's following, particularly which happens at the boundary. The migrants are stay at a orphanage in the Gustavo Amadero neighborhood, in gunman guard permanent at both of entrances. Contreras and other of the transmigrating bus huddled along on the other story of one of the orphanage buildings. Clothing, composition, shoes, medicine bottles and meal mob the area. On Tuesday night, largest of the female were down, making their wool and composition, consisting Contreras. A man of the convoy shouting "I mommy," as one of the female walks by him, locking her wool. She rollers her eyes and doesn't worry to rotate about. Moments love the do Contreras thankful for the safety of the big team, although she, too much, has been on reception end of catcalls of some migrants. But he's superior rather than creature one. Contreras hopes she makes it in the joint state, perhaps to Nashville, wherever she has a boyfriend, or New Jersey, wherever a attorney has said her she could discover a nice supporting framework. Already, following 3 months residing as herself, she feels love a new man, converted, she says. If she doesn't do it, she'll go behind to Honduras and restart dress love a man, for her security and for her household. I would not wish to contempt them dress as a female, and I would not wish them to contempt me, she told. I fair ask God how all ends up so.